Good morning, Kitchen Witches. Today is Wednesday, June 3rd, and this is your tarot and menu inspiration for the day. I'm Chef Lisa, editor-in-chief of A Chef's Grimoire magazine, and that's exactly what the magazine does. It helps you to not only learn the tarot, but also learn it through the way of food. So you're going to bring the tarot cards into the kitchen, help you menu plan, help you think about food in a completely different way. And yeah, it's quite interesting. So we're going to do this. We're going to shuffle very well, and then we're going to pick one card. And that card is going to be not only the inspiration for the day, but also how you're going to plan your meals today. So one card telling you what to do. Wouldn't that be great? Like, just having one thing always just tell you what to do. So you don't have to think. In today's world, that might be nice. Then again, maybe not. Maybe it's nice to have choices. But the cards are going to inspire us. That's better, a better wording for it, right? To inspire us. So what is the card that's going to help us today, Wednesday, June 3rd? In not only understanding the atmospheric relevance of the day, but also what to plan for our meals. Ready? Here we go. Nice. The Page of Wands. Again, Wands energy. Wands energy has been coming up quite a bit. All of last week into now. Wands are the element of fire. They're all about passion, vitality, bringing that spark of whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're feeling into form, right? Into actual relevance. So it's all about creativity too, right? So you're going to be very creative when you get this card. And our little page here is part of court cards. Now, if you're new to the tarot, I've already mentioned you need to know the difference between the major arcana and the minor arcana. This is all within the 78 cards of a tarot deck. I'm using Rider-Waite-Smith tarot cards. That's my deck of choice. And any variation on that is great, especially as a beginner, because Pamela Coleman-Smith has done an amazing job of not only illustrating the majors, which have been illustrated throughout the centuries, but she also illustrated the minors, which has not been done until 1910 or 1909 when this deck came out. So she was the first to illustrate the minor arcana. Major, a major thing. So thank you. But anyway, so we have our little page here, and they're holding up one wand, and that wand is representative of the fire element, right? So they've got a lot of passion, vitality, plus they have childlike understanding of the world. So it's not yet been tainted. Yes, important. Now, going back to what the court cards are. So you have majors, you have minors. You have court cards, and you have aces, right? So the court cards are the families that live within the deck. There's 4 of them, just like there's 4 elements, because each family rules an element. So within the family are 4 cards. I know it's getting deeper, right? But it's actually giving you an understanding of the structure of how the deck is laid out. So there's 4 individuals within the families. There's always a page, which is the youngest, the childlike mentality of the suit. Then there's the adolescent, which is the knights, right? Into their 20s, maybe, knights. And they have more of a grasp on the understanding of the element, but are still scrappling, right? They're still making mistakes. Right? They're not yet kings or queens, which make up the rest of the family, right? The queens are the nurturing end of the suit. but still know the element inside and out. And then there's the kings, which are the dads, right? They know everything. They rule a little harder. You know, their blow is a little harder, but they have a completely grounded concept of what that element is all about. So that's the families. Now, going back to this card, we have the Page of Wands. So think of a child, right? They have no inhibitions whatsoever. So they pick up a rock, and in that rock, they can see the world, right? They can see the world. They're like, oh, this rock can build my castle. This rock can skip the waters. This rock, I mean, go on and on and on about what that rock can do. And the child will bring it into fruition, right? Because they don't see barriers. They see nothing but the rock and what they want to make with that. That's a lot of fire. That's a lot of passion. And that's where this card is. So in today, in your daily activities on a Wednesday, you're going to look for it. Look through rose-colored glasses like a child would at your surroundings. Now, these core cards fall into the category of a minor arcana. So this is fleeting energy. This is something that will last today. And then tomorrow it'll be something else. But look at your surroundings today with a childlike eye. You know, I mean, it's a great thing to do any day, not just today, but today we're going to make it cognizant. So, you know, how did you wake up this morning? Did you wake up and like gung-ho to start the day? Wow, what adventures am I going to go on today? You know, or take the dog for the first walk of the morning, and you're looking up and you're seeing birds fly, and you're like, wow, look at that, birds flying. Like, how do they do that? You know, I mean, just childlike understanding of what your surroundings are. Minimal, little small things. Pick them out, make them into something that is not so tainted. Yeah? I mean, there's hope in everything. There really is. And I know that's hard to hear right now, but there really is hope in anything. And our Page of Wands is the spark to that. So it all comes within you, right? How do you see the world? Can you pinpoint things that you can see in a different light today, maybe, you know, in a childlike aspect? That's what this card is going to do today for you. Now, we're going to bring this card into the kitchen. And I'm going to consult my cheat sheet here. I'm thinking we want fiery foods that bring out your inner child, because element of fire, the childlike Page of Wands. So for breakfast, why not French toast with a hot honey dip? So you make your French toast, right? Easy peasy, get one off the internet if you don't have a family recipe. But you get your cream, you get your cinnamon, your eggs, you know, whisk them up into the batter that's going to soak your toast. Hopefully a challah, and if you don't have challah, then you can do brioche, which is lovely. Now, you're not going to, if you buy your brioche or your challah from the store, it's going to be in the cellophane bag, right? That's meant to keep it soft and supple. So what you want to do, you have to have a little forethought if you want to make an excellent French toast, is you want to take it out of the bag either the night before and let it dry out. So what I do is I get a sheet pan, I put a towel on the sheet pan, and then I don't put a towel on the sheet pan, scratch that. I get a sheet pan, I put the toast out, so I lay it in one layer, so it's exposed to air. And if I can, I'm going to elevate the slices on the rim of the sheet tray so that air can flow underneath them as well. Then I cover that whole thing with a towel, and I put it in a place that is, open to the elements in my kitchen. It could be off to the side on the counter. Sometimes I put it on top of my air fryer, just up on top so it's elevated, and leave it out overnight. What that's going to do is it's going to dry out the toast. If you don't have time for that, you can set your oven to like 200 degrees, put all the toasts, as I said, on a sheet tray and pop them in there for like 8-10 minutes. And that also will dry out the toasts. While that's happening, you're mixing your batter as we talked about. Then you're going to dip. Now, similar to making a tiramisu with the ladyfingers, you don't want to dip the toast too long in the liquid because now they're dry. So what's going to happen? They're going to go and they're going to soak up all the liquid, and then your French toast is going to be too soggy. So it's a gentle hand you want to have on this, right? So you're going to take your now dried toasts. You're going to have a vessel that's going to accept them and the liquid that you've just made. And you're going to put them down for maybe, you can count it, 10 seconds. And then you're going to flip, and 10 seconds on the other side. And before you even start to soak, you're going to have your hot pan ready, and just get it hot, right? If you want to, you can add butter to it. Not when it's screaming hot. Put the butter in when it's cold and let the butter melt and warm up. But to a point where now you're seeing little bubbles in it. It's not browning. Browning is nice, but you don't want to get it too brown too soon, the butter. So now you're going to take your soaked bread and you're going to fry your French toast. Bump, bump, done. Hot honey. Honey in a measuring cup with your choice. You can add a hot sauce. That's my Jasper, my male cat. You can add a hot sauce of any type. Sriracha, Frank's hot sauce. You know your hot sauce. Add it. And you're going to make that into a palatable, not overly hot, but spicied honey that you then, once your French toast comes out of the pan and, it's in the oven warming or it's ready to eat, you can cut it into sticks and then you dip it into the hot honey. Isn't that nice? Yeah, that's good. And if you have kids, you don't have to add the heat. But the reason we're adding the heat is because we have fire. We have fire energy. So we're going to make the a kid's meal that is a little more adult friendly with the heat of the honey. Okay, breakfast is done. We're moving on to lunch. So I'm thinking, again, thinking about what a child would enjoy. So buffalo chicken wrap with jalapeno chips. So buffalo chicken wrap, right? So you're going to take a rotisserie chicken or chicken you had from last night that now you're shredding. You're going to add some mayonnaise. They make buffalo sauce in a jar now. You can certainly find that and add that, or skip the mayonnaise and just add that buffalo dip from a jar. Or you can make your own, and you can find one on the internet very easily, and it's super easy to make. You just throw some ingredients together, mix it up, you've got buffalo dip. If you want to do a buffalo ranch dip, even better. So that's going to go into the chicken. If you want to add a vegetable to make it more healthy, you can add diced bell pepper. You can add some jalapeno into that as well if you really wish to. You can add celery, you can, whatever you want to throw in, right? Into the buffalo chicken salad, and then you get your pita, or if not a pita, then tortilla, and you wrap it up. And then if you wish, you can pan fry it so that it's kind of flattened like a burrito, but basically it's in there. And if you wanted to add salad greens in there or arugula or something else, you can do that too. So we're getting it crispy on the outside and tender on the inside from a pan sear in any kind of oil you wish. I would probably do an avocado oil or an olive oil, fine. And then you're going to serve that with jalapeno chips. Now this is up to you. You could take a jalapeno, and you could put it into an air fryer, right? And make chips out of them. You just put a little oil on the base of your air fryer. You take the jalapenos, you slice them, and you put them on top, and then you air fry them, and they'll get crispy on the outside, and you can eat them. And they're really nice. Or, Jasper just took my bag of sliced almonds and knocked them off the counter. Cats. Or you can buy a jalapeno potato chips and serve that with the wrap, right? Anything goes today, right? Think about, just think about it being something that's spicy that goes with the buffalo chicken. And yum. And the crunch with the softness of the wrap, delicious. Really nice. Nice textures that blend well together. Okay, so that's lunch. Now, what is for dinner? So dinner is pepper steak. Easy, right? It's Wednesday. We don't want to exert ourselves in the kitchen. So pepper steak with jasmine rice and broccoli. So you're going to take a steak of choice, whatever your favorite is. Sirloin is nice and affordable. You can even do, one of my personal favorites is hanger steak, sometimes called flap steak, but it's a tender that kind of flaps itself in the, well, I'm not going to go into detail, but that's where the cut comes. And it's only one length per animal. So they're not abundant like a big piece of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not brisket, which is a nice bit like a roast, right? It's not a roast piece of meat. It's a fairly small piece of meat, but it's super tender because it doesn't have any muscle structure around it. So that's delicious. If you have more money, you can do a T-bone steak, or you can do ribeye, which is lovely. Any steak that you know you're going to sear to a really golden crust and be super tender when you cut into it. The other thing you can do, and that's if you want a whole steak, and then you saute peppers and onions and you put that on there, and you add the heat, which is going to be, again, some jalapenos or a spicy pepperoncino pepper can go in there. Pepper steak. You're also going to, before you sear your steak, you're going to make it almost like steak au poivre, so you're going to add a lot of pepper to the outside and sear it. And that's going to give you a nice heat punch as well. Now, the other more traditional way to make this, that's an American version of a pepper steak. You can make it Asian, where you take the slices that you can buy in the grocery store. The butcher has already sliced them for you. Again, we're making it easy. So you could take that and quickly stir fry it with a sauce of, say, sriracha and hoisin, if you wish, or oyster sauce, soy sauce, of course, and saute all that together with your peppers and your onions, and it's a stir fry that you can then serve with jasmine rice is lovely. You can use basmati rice, which those two, well, basmati especially is a very forgiving rice. Making rice, guys, is a technique, yeah? I mean, even the people that eat rice on a daily basis, they use a rice cooker. But to make it from scratch in a pot, it's a technique. One ingredient, but it takes trial and error. So don't be discouraged if you tried to make rice in the past and it was either raw or too mushy. That's it. Rice is hard to make, believe it or not. So use your rice cooker if you've got one. Make your rice, whatever favorite is yours. That is going to be the vehicle to eat all of the gorgeous peppers and onions and things that you've sauteed. Maybe you deglaze them with, if you're doing the American version, you can deglaze with white wine or chicken stock or beef stock. And then you have like a little sauce, right? Pan sauce that you can put over that gorgeous peppery steak. Broccoli, why not? Yeah, I mean, steamed, roasted, air fried, however you want to make your broccoli. It's going to be the green that's going to add the little bit of healthiness to our meal. And that's it. That's our tarot and meal inspiration for the day from our friend, the Page of Wands. As always, nourish yourself, nourish those you love with your kitchen magic, and I'll see you tomorrow.